Welcome, footy fans worldwide, and tonight we have a special episode of the Upper Tier Podcast, brought to you by the Dynamo Podcast Network, available on Spotify, Anchor, YouTube. Head over to our channel there, smash subscribe, hit that bell notification, give it a like and share, help us grow the community. And tonight we are joined by none other than Aaron Molloy from the Portland Timbers, no less. Aaron, how you doing, my man?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Thank you very much for having me on the show. I'm very excited.
Brilliant. Great to have you on, man. Great to have you on. And how's things? How are you coping with all this lockdown stuff? And
Yeah, I'm doing well. Obviously, it's tough not getting to see family members and that kind of things being home, but I'm trying my best to stay fit and stay busy every morning, every day. So yeah, just taking it day by day, really.
Yeah, it's tough as a soccer player, isn't it, as well, with everything kind of on hold and everything, and no one can really do it, and you're running that lonesome sort of session, really, you know.
No, you are. Like I was just talking to a few of the lads. Like I'm just going out running every day and using muscles that you don't really would use if you're training with a lad. So I went out for a session the other day, and I'm in bits at the moment, so I just kept running. The past couple of weeks I'm just going on long runs, but feeling good, feeling fit. So yeah, so that's it.
Brilliant, great to hear it. So tell us this, give us a bit of background. Talk about your romance or your love for football. Where did it begin? I probably know the answer, but I'm sure there'll be an introduction to a certain father during this podcast, no doubt. But yeah. Tell us how it all began.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you just started me off right there. Yeah, so my dad was Trevor Molloy, and he's played in the League of Ireland, played in England, played in Scotland, and he had me when he was pretty young, him and my ma. And ever since I can remember, I always had a ball at my feet growing up in town. I always had football pitches around, and I just kind of found the love for it at a very early age, and just kept with it for my whole life.
So clearly the dad was a huge influence on you in terms of football, I would imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I remember at a very early age going to Richmond Park, going to Tallaght, going to everywhere around the country, going to Dalymount and on a Friday night, and everyone shouting my dad's name whether it was for good things or bad things. It was mostly bad things. But yeah, like that's what I wanted. Like I wanted to be playing football and everyone respect me and everyone know who I was at a very early age, and I wanted what he had, and he helped me out. Him as my ma helped me out just as much, but yeah, so both of them has been a big influence on my journey so far.
Absolutely. And for anyone out there, and I'm sure there isn't anyone, but if anyone doesn't know who Trevor Molloy is, they are big boots to fill in terms of football.
No, absolutely.
Yes, brilliant. So then tell us about the youth career then in Bohemians.
Yeah. So before Bohemians, I was with Kevin's, and then I was with Crumlin, both schoolboy teams that I really enjoyed my time at. I was actually a late bloomer, a late developer. So I never really played. I was on the bench until I was about 17. Went to Bows then. Owen Harry brought the Crumlin side in that I was at the Bows, and after pre-season they named me captain. I spent 2 years there under Robbie Horgan, Kay McKenna and Ray Scully, and they helped me out massively. And yeah, I was up with the first team every now and then, made the bench for an odd cup game, and I got a taste of first team football training with the lads. Had another year at U19s, and Pete Mann came knocking at my door and went to Drogheda. Absolutely loved my time there. I played 15 games up there and up in Drogheda, and had an unbelievable time. And then before all that even started, I already had admirations of going to the States. I'd done a FOSS course and all that kind of stuff, and so before even Drogheda, I already had plans, and happy enough that Pete was accommodating and letting me go, so everything worked out.
So you always had plans and desires to go to the States and like try it out culturally and college and stuff like that and everything.
Yeah, so I'll tell you what really happened was I finished me leaving cert. I wasn't very good in secondary school, and between the summer and the first course it was about 3 months, and I was just thinking to myself, like, what am I going to do if football doesn't work out? And it made me really realize how important education is. And because I didn't take me leaving cert too seriously, I was like, I'm snookered. So I joined the first course, wanted to go to America, and they said if you pass this exam, I do well on this exam called the SAT, you've got a good chance. So I got groins. I studied hours and endlessly on getting good grades. And happy enough, I done well enough to get into a college in America. And through the first course as well, they helped me out an awful lot. They put me in contact with lots of people. And I ended up getting a scholarship to a small school in Florida, West Palm Beach. So it's great.
Brilliant. So I suppose when we're moving on to talk about the college scene over there, do we have to refer to this now as soccer, or is it still football?
But yeah, I got an interview there the other day with the FAI. Daniel, his name was, with the FAI, and I said soccer once or twice, and I had to ring him back. And I'm saying, whatever you do not put soccer in the interview. Say football. I'm ringing you, please, because I would have got a good bit of grief now for that. I still do. Like, I'm over there 4.5 years. I get a little bit of little twinge of the accent goes. You know what I mean? So I get a bit of grief off my family now when I come home for the holidays.
Excellent. So tell us about football over there at the college level. What's that like?
Yeah, so I went to I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I went to a small school in West Palm Beach, Florida, which was an amazing place. The football was a decent level. It wasn't the highest level. And if I wanted to go to the draft or the combine, I would have having to move on. And Alan McCann was the assistant coach there, and he looked out for me. And in other words, you can say he kicked me out in a good way to go to a higher school. You know, he's looking out for me, and knew I had the capabilities of playing at a higher level. So I had the opportunity to visit Penn State, which is 50,000, 60,000 students, and it was absolutely amazing. I fell in love with the place straight away, and the football there was absolutely amazing. We have top-notch facilities, just as best as you can think of. Like, we have everything there, and then the level it would surprise a lot of people. But when I tell people I played 4 years in college, they'd be a little bit weary or whatever, but the level is surprisingly very good. A lot of players that get drafted, like Clint Dempsey, a lot of like good MLS players went through the college system. Yedlin, Jack Harrison, these are all good players that are playing in the Premier League, that played in college as well. So yeah, like I wanted to get an education, and I wanted to play at a really high level, and it was a no-brainer for me to go over to the States. And I was lucky enough that I was able to attend two great universities.
So college over there for those guys, it's nearly kind of like an apprenticeship, is it? That you know,
it is.
You build yourself up that way, and then you move on to the next level.
Absolutely. Like, there's two ways of going about it. Like, if you're 18 coming out of secondary school or high school over there, if you're good enough, your academy will sign you. But if you're not good enough at the time, you've got 4 years to develop into yourself, into your body, into getting to know yourself and being a better player. And then the team that you're with owns your rights, so that you can come back to you in 4 years later and sign you. And that's what happens a lot of the time. And for myself, I kind of needed them 4 years as well. Like I was telling you, I was a late developer. I needed time to grow into my body, to be a little bit more mature. And I'm very grateful that I ended up playing 4 years of college, because it's made me a better person and a better player.
Excellent. So talk about the college fan base. I know they'd be quite intense. They'd be. So fans are just full on over there, aren't they?
Yeah. Like, so Penn State's got the biggest alumni in the world, and what alumni is people that graduated from there. So I'm wearing Penn State stuff, whether it's in New York or in Portland or in Dublin, and everyone stops me and everyone's asking me like you go to Penn State or whatever, and it's huge. It is. And even at our games, we had an awful lot of people, but the American football games, you have 110,000 people attending, 110,000 people attending the games. Like, so it's huge over there. It's taken very seriously, and yeah, I'm very grateful for the opportunity.
So these t-shirts and jerseys are the real McCoy. These are not some trip to pennies for $5.99. This is the legit Penn State stuff. Absolutely. Yeah, no, this is what you're telling people. Yeah, good
there
stuff.
You go. Yeah.
So then moving on, I suppose, to the senior career, where we started with up in Drogheda. With James was telling me the other day he played for Drogheda, and he says Drogheda was the most professional setup he played under. Like, it was just. He was saying Lockie was the kit man up there and everything and all, and that everything was just pristine and perfect. They were brought away even on pre-season trips to Marbella, the whole lot, like, for pre-season.
Deadly.
So he said that's the place he played for. It was unbelievable. Like,
yeah.
What's your memories playing up in Drogheda?
Oh, I absolutely loved it. Like I wouldn't take anything back, and I owe a lot to like I said, the three lads that were there, Pete Mann, Kinsler, and John Gill. They brought me in, and I done pre-season again, and I went in fit, went in well, went in hungry, and I'm gonna be quite honest, I wasn't expecting to play straight off the bat. I played 15 out of 16 games, or 14 out of 15 games straight away. I scored a couple of goals, got a game winner down in Waterford, and absolutely loved it. The fans were great. The stadium was immaculate. Like the grass is fantastic. And the setup was good. Like they brought in some good lads. The culture was great. And he gave me a taste of first team football, and I really really enjoyed it.
And just for our listeners, if they want to see the quality of goal that's being scored, there's a highlight reel there on YouTube. And this is a man who rarely enters the 18-yard box, but puts everything into the top corner. So that's all I'll say. This is a man who I'd also say has a Beckham-esque goal to his name as well. And I'm just putting that out there now, so if anyone wants to take a look at that, very impressive. So then you go from Drogheda off to Reading. Tell us about the move to Reading.
Yeah, Reading was a big influence on me now heading over to America. So what Reading is, it was a team in Pennsylvania that's it's like a summer league, and at the time it was called a player development league, and they'll get all the best players from college, all the best players that are out of contract, and they'll play in the summer. And lucky enough, Reading was the number one best team in the past 4 or 5 years, and they had a lot of Irish coaches come through it. So I got asked to go in. Alan McCann was the assistant coach that was at Kaiser, and Stephen Hogan was the head coach. And I went in, done really well. And then I ended up going training with Bethlehem Steel, where James Chambers, who played in the League of Ireland, was there. And I had the opportunity to train with Philadelphia Union, which is an MLS team, through Reading, was their affiliate. So yeah, went there, really enjoyed myself. Played like 14, 15 games before the season started then in college. So yeah, I owe a huge amount of gratitude towards my time at Reading.
And you know, when you mention Philadelphia, I know exactly how intense those fans are. They live and breathe sport. There's no doubt, and that's all. They work to earn money to invest in sport. They're the craziest sport fans. I've been over there a few times, and it's just mental. We were over there a week before. We went to actually the Royal Rumble over there, and it was It was week before the Eagles were playing in the Super Bowl. Man, it was crazy. The city was lit up in green. That river and all, I think they nearly died of green. The whole thing, it was crazy.
No, it is. Yeah, if you're playing in front of them fans, you have to be on top of your game. So no, it is. It's immense. It is. And the thing is, it'll help you as well when you're going through tough times in a game or you're winning. They spur you on, and it definitely helps. Like,
absolutely. So then we move on to the Portland Timbers, is it? And away
yes, sir.
We go up in Oregon.
And,
not too dissimilar weather to ourselves, really. You know,
that was the first thing people told me, was like, I hope you like the rain, because the rain's a lot up there. I said, I'm from Dublin, Ireland, so the rain doesn't faze me. So, the journey from there was, I obviously went to the combine. I had a really good year in college. I got invited to the combine. I think they invited the 40 best players in college. Done really well, and had 6 or 7 interviews with MLS teams. And in the first round, I got drafted number 16 to Portland. I was the first international drafted, which was it was great for me. And I went there, and my first year playing pro in America, it was great. I was with the first team for the first 2 months. We went to Costa Rica in pre-season. So we had this pale Irish lad there, with all the South Americans, all the American lads. That was a good bit of banter, but yeah, I really enjoyed myself, and I'm forever grateful for Portland for the opportunity.
Brilliant. And we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Joey Weber from the Portland Timbers. I was looking there the other day on Facebook. Probably one of the most unique mascots I've ever come across. This guy lives and breathes Portland Timbers.
He does.
For anyone who doesn't know, this is a man who has a log on the side of the pitch, and when I say a log, I mean like a trunk of a tree, basically. And he covers it in fan scarves and stuff like that, doesn't he? You know.
Yeah. So he's actually the mascot. Yeah, he's actually the mascot. So if you score a goal or keep a clean sheet, he'll cut off the timber, and you get to bring it back. You share it in front of the stands. You bring it back. So yeah, there's lads there with piles full of timber there from all the goals and clean sheets they have. Yeah, it's great, and that's the mascot actually. So there's no lad running around in a costume or whatever. He's the original mascot. And he's great. He's great for the community too.
Yeah, I seen a little. Voice did a little documentary on him actually.
Yeah.
And I was looking at it there the other day, and he, like, when you see the guy, he's every bit you would think of a lumberjack, isn't he? Like, he's a big, brawly dude who you can tell is just going around cutting wood all day. Like,
and he wears the right gear and all. He's great. He's great.
Yeah. And I thought it was a nice touch as well that the lads get the piece of log signed and they donate it to charity and they auction it off and stuff like that for
yeah.
It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, no, it is. It's great. And the thing with Portland is, like, the stadium's dead center of the city, and the people there, they live, they breed, they just love football over there. So it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I was watching some highlights there, and the intensity is incredible. They're well into it, and just they never stop. From pillar to post, they never stop. It's great.
No, 100%. Yeah, like, they're a great team, great lads, and the coaches built a great culture there, and they won the MLS tournament is back there in Orlando. I think it could have been in July, August. It was on, but yeah, it was absolutely fantastic, and delighted for all the lads.
Brilliant, excellent stuff. So then tell us about I had a quick look there at Kicking and Streaming, the podcast. Tell us about the podcast.
Yeah, so obviously I'm a lad from the inner city of Dublin, from a working class family, and I'm out here playing football in the States the past 4.5 years, and I've had a lot of kids wanting to know about my journey and asking for advice. So I decided, like, well, I'm going to make this podcast up during quarantine, and just kind of have people on that will be able to answer all these questions that people have for me. I get some DMs and some lads that have the willingness to want to go over, so I wanted to do it for them, because I had an unbelievable experience and met so many great people, and I wanted to have, like, formal/informal conversations with football players past and present, and just learn about their experiences, and like, everyone has a journey, so I thought it was a good opportunity and a good time to do it, and I made 3 podcasts, and I do want to get back to it. It's been a while since I indulged in that world, but yeah, I'm excited, and I'm glad I got it up and running. A lot of people were very grateful that I got it going. Yeah,
it's fantastic, because I'm sure for young lads growing up around Dublin City and even around Ireland who are thinking about taking that step to the States, it's a huge decision, and it can be very daunting, and it's like, you're up in sticks, you're leaving your family, you're going over to a new culture, you're going over to play a sport that, like, isn't hockey or basketball or American football.
Yeah.
It's football, but not the one that you throw, the one that you kick.
Exactly. Yeah.
It must be great for them to have that sort of knowledge base there, that you went over there, you're making a success, but it's going really well for you, and it sort of breaks down those barriers for younger lads to say, yeah, I can go over there and do what Ireland boys doing and stuff like that.
Exactly, and that's a huge goal of mine. Like, I think in the past year or two, a lot of Irish lads have been taking the step or wanting to take the step, and like, I'm here if they, like, I text everyone back that texts me on Instagram, and that's thinking about it, because I just would love for them to experience what I had, and if I had to do it all over again, I'd grab it with both hands. It was absolutely it's an amazing experience for myself, and just a journey, and like I said, it's a culture shock when you go over at first, but it's definitely worth it, Well,
I often say to people when they ask me to describe America, because I worked there for a while, and I often say to people, like, it's like if you get like 52 countries and you put them all together on one continent, but you have so many options available to you when you go over.
100%.
It's so big and so huge, and the opportunity is there if you're driven and you really want to.
Yeah,
really go
that's true. Yeah, 100%. Where were you when you were in America?
I was based in Fresno for a while, so sort of in between sort of LA and San Francisco.
Nice.
But I was over there, but it was crazy place.
Yeah.
Really
no, I bet.
Experience.
Yeah, and I'm delighted now. That's great.
Yeah, so we asked some of our listeners and some of our viewers to send us in some what we call fan questions.
Happy days.
And as always, we never let our guests see the fans, but they're not too daunting, So,
yeah.
The first one that came in was favorite goal, and he broke it down in two. He wanted your own personal favorite goal that you've scored, and your own favorite goal as a fan, which I presume will be a Man United goal.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, my favorite goal that I'm gonna start off with that I scored myself. It was a buzzer beater, and I'll explain what it was. So actually, in college, there's no stoppage time, so it's just 45 minutes, and whoever the ball is, and it's 3-2-1, last few seconds, the game just ends. There was 5 seconds, no, there was 10 seconds left. We had a corner, took it real quick. I was on the edge of the box, got bounced out. I took a half volley from about 35 yards out, and I went in on the last second. And that was a half time. But yeah, it was a great goal, and it was to get us up and going. We weren't playing too well, but it was one of my favourite goals. Yeah, half volley, 35 yards out, buzzer beater. So I was delighted with that. And it's tough. My favourite goal that I've like ever that I haven't scored would probably be the Wayne Rooney goal against Man City, the overhead. Just the importance of it, the technique, the just the whole everything against City. Yeah, it just made everything just a little bit sweeter, and it was one of them goals I'll be able to watch all day.
So now I'm following this up. You'll have to be careful how you answer this one. Because you might have to give me two answers. So your favourite player.
My favourite player?
Your favourite player, yeah.
Honestly, I'm gonna put all biases aside, and the people could still say this is biased, but Paul Scholes is my favourite player. Growing up, and not because I'm ginger and he's ginger and both was playing the same position. I just love how he just controlled games, and obviously he played for Man United. He was never the fastest, he was never the strongest, quickest, tallest, but he could control the game. His passing, his goals was absolutely amazing, and he was someone that I really looked up to as I got older, and playing midfield, because I didn't always play midfield. Growing up, I was a striker, I was a winger, and I really wanted to be in the midst of things where the game was busy. And looking videos of him, I've got a lot of I learned a lot from him. Yeah,
he's fantastic pro, wasn't he? Never had any trouble off the pitch or anything like that.
No,
always just trained, went home, showed up, played well. Was always minimum of an 8 out of 10 every week.
There you go. Yeah, just done his business, and that was it. So yeah, I learned a lot from him.
So before you get into any trouble, then joint force has to be the dad as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. Obviously, like I said at the start of the podcast, like going to watch him on a Friday night, whether it was rain, sleet, snow, getting a hot dog and some chips in the freezing cold, just watching him was it was very inspirational and motivational, especially at a really early age. And I was just thinking to myself, this is what I want to do. I want to be a professional footballer and play at the highest level I can.
That's why I gave you two choices.
There you go.
There you go. So then, favorite playing moment.
Playing moment. Playing moment. Hold on. I played a couple of good games. I played against Man City reserves, where Vieira was the manager. I got the last 20 minutes and at Daily Mount with Bowes. I also played in the Malone Cup up in Drogheda against Dundalk. I think that was my pro debut, and I think that could have been up. Even though we lost 2-0, I got stuck in, and I played really well against the champions Dundalk from the previous year. And it was the start of the year. It would be like similar to a community shield. You know, it was like a little trophy at the start of the year, the Jim Malone Cup. And I think that could have been my favourite playing game. The fans took to me straight away after that game. I got stuck in, made some good passes. I was a young lad as well, so all the fans stuck to me then after that, and gave me a lot of motivation to carry on into the season.
Good, excellent, good choices. Patrick Vieira, huh?
Yeah, there you go.
Anything? Another one came in there. Anything you would change?
Honestly, I get this question often. I don't think I change a thing. I'm very grateful where I'm at the moment. I'm very grateful where I was the past couple of years. I'm very grateful for everyone that's helped me along this journey. And met my girlfriend at Penn State together 3 years. So absolutely It's amazing. So I don't think I'd change one thing.
Well, I'd say now what comes across in the interview, you say like you're very grounded and you're very driven, and you know where you want to go and everything. So like,
Yes, sir. Yeah.
that's a brilliant starting point, you know.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
You
Absolutely.
know,
Thank
so
you very much.
yeah, no problem at all. So look, I've really enjoyed chatting to you. It's been a great chat and a rundown on
Mm-hmm.
the career. And it's great that you're doing well out there, flying the flag for Ireland in
Yes, sir.
US football, and also with the podcast, inspiring younger people to come across and make that jump and do it. So brilliant to have you on, and thanks a million for coming on. Really,
No,
really
thank you very
appreciate it.
much. Yeah, I really enjoyed myself today.
So, do
So
you want
thank
to
you
give
so
a
much.
shout out to anything, or let people know where they can find you, or if they want to hit you up for any information or anything like that?
Yeah, if anyone has any questions about America or anything in general, my Instagram page is Molloy 10, and the picture is just initials as AM. That's where I spend most of my time on social media. It'd be mostly Instagram. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for taking time out of your day to speak to me. I really enjoyed myself. Thank you.
No, absolutely brilliant to have you on. Thanks a million, Aaron.